you will need 2 pieces of fabric. You can do the same fabric or 2 different ones. 1 piece of Wrap and Zap. And I like to put a tab on mine because I have a place in my kitchen I hang them. So go ahead, get all those cut, and then you will take 1 piece of fabric. I only do 1 layer of Wrap and Zap. If you want to do 2, you'll just repeat this process that we're gonna do for this one on the other one as well. So layer it on there. It does stick really nice. It's kind of like a flannelly, so you don't need to pin it. You're gonna go down the center, across the center, and then corner to corner, both directions. So you'll end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 seams. And like I said, if you want Wrap and Zap on the other side, you can also do the exact same thing. A lot of this is to hold the Wrap and Zap in place. So go ahead, make sure you're using all cotton thread. This is what you should have, at least 1 of these, possibly 2 if you doubled up the Wrap and Zap. I took 1 of my squares and folded them in half. And now we need to do our pleats. So I just made a little template out of some cardboard instead of having to measure them all. And I'm just going to use chalk to mark my line. We are going up 3 inches on the fold, over 2.5. So I'm going to do it to these 2. I'm going to sew on those lines. And then I'm going to flip it the other direction and mark the pleats on the other side. And then you just have to fold it back when you go to sew on your lines. So your chalk lines will not be in the exact places. So you'll do these 2, and then you will fold it the first way we had it, right? And do this way. So you're gonna have 4 pleats, and you need to do that to both pieces. So again, so on these chalk lines, and then cut off the balance. So you will have done that a total of 8 times, so 4 for each piece. If you want to put a tab on yours, make sure that you stitch down both sides. I like to stitch mine together, and I'll slip this in before I top stitch. All of my darts are sewn. So what I will do is flip the lining out, the right side out. And I'm going to tuck them together. So the right sides of the fabric are going to be together. And I start with lining up the 4 darts when I'm clipping. And then I will backtrack and put more clips on. When you are sewing around, be mindful you need to leave an opening to flip it. And these are small. So you want to leave that gap as big as you can. I try to leave it after the pleat and before this corner. So I will go right here because you want to hook your corner because that's going to give you the nice point. And you don't want to include the dart because that makes it tricky also. So go ahead when they're together, stitch all the way around minus that opening. And then we're going to do some exercise flipping it. Whenever I have something to flip, I like to iron this open because then when I go to seal it up, most of the work is going to be done. We have corners, so let's clip those. That'll help us get pointy corners and not so bulky. And then you can also be very careful when you do this. You're going to clip down a little bit. And this will just help it turn nicer. So after you have all of that done, go ahead and flip it. If you have small hands, great. If you don't and you have small children in your house, even better, because usually I leave this up to my kids to flip. I finished our ice cream cozy, and I don't have an ice cream like Ben & Jerry's size, so I just grabbed a pint jar so you could see the size comparison. Okay, I do have a tab on mine. I have a command hook on my stove that I hang on the side of these, like then my kids can find them and they're in one spot, and our kitchen isn't huge, so then it saves counter space too, right? But you can fit Ben & Jerry's in here. I've heard you can fit the cup of noodles in there and the little things of mac and cheese. So they are pretty multifunctional. All cotton thread, all cotton fabric. Wrap and Zap is all cotton. If there's any chance it will be in a microwave, all cotton, you guys. You don't wanna be the reason someone needs to call the fire department. Let's just be real, okay? So go ahead, make yourself a cute little, isn't this fabric adorable? The mama and the baby bears. Go ahead and make yourself an ice cream cozy. And this mama right here, she needs ice cream tonight, so that's what she's gonna go do.